remember my answers.
Yeah. So
I forgot the questions too.
All right, tennis with head coach Dan MacDonald, Emil Hultman, Delia Maier. Coach, a split weekend this past weekend in more ways than one, with the women going to Utah, men here at home, and then the men getting a hard-earned split in your first home matches. Maybe kind of give us a quick recap of both sides.
Yeah, I guess we'll start with the women. Went down to Utah Tech, formerly Dixie State. They played really well. They're a good Division I team. They've seemed like they've gotten better every year. I think they've been increasing their scholarship money. But another good experience for us. It'll pay off for the women. I think play 7 matches coming up, or is it 6?
7.
7 over 5 days, something like that. Anyway, so it was nice not to have another weekend off. At least they got to play somebody different instead of challenge matches or playing each other. And then the men easily could have gone 2-0 or 0-2. So at least we got the split. Hilo was a really good team, and we battled really hard. And at the first match, we barely lost, and the second one, we barely won. So hopefully that gives us some momentum for the men heading out to California as well.
Delia, a hard match against D1 opponents that we talked about a little bit last week. How does that prepare you and the team for such an important and kind of busy stretch in California?
I think playing those D1 schools always just prepares us better for California, because we're going to play some tough D2 schools too. So playing against someone who's better just helps increasing your own level and knowing where you can go and how well you can play. Because I think we all played pretty well this weekend, even though we lost. But at least like knowing how you can play and then taking that into our California trip and hopefully playing the way we did this past week.
Emil, you went 2-0 in your singles matches, and pretty much everyone on the team contributed in some way, picking up a win here or there. What was that kind of like to have that balance and pulling out a big win over a conference team?
Yeah, it was good. My first match, I kind of struggled, but then I turned it around. It was nice to get a 3-set win, and then second match went kind of straightforward for my part, played way better. And then as a team, I feel like we were right there first match. As he said, we could have not easily, but we could have won that with a few points here and there. Everyone was playing their hearts out, putting a lot of effort into every game. You could see it was a lot of passion. It was some fights out there almost. And then it was after the first loss, it was a tough loss, but we bounced back really well, and it was really nice to get that second win to build some confidence, and hope we can build on that now on the California trip.
Speaking of that, a busy and really kind of make or break stretch for both teams when you start looking at conference tournament things. Coach, what is it like? We kind of asked you this question last week as well, but playing so many matches in so many days, what's that kind of like, the grind?
I think they're used. I mean, we did play 3 out of the 4 weekends in February and played some doubleheaders early on. So I think we're prepared for it. Like I say, as a former tennis player, athlete, I'd rather play matches than practice. So it would have been nice to maybe have one day off, but just the way the schedule worked, playing Cal State LA's women's team early Sunday morning. So hopefully that afternoon we'll have some fun going over to Henry's house. But there are always important matches: Biola, Fresno Pacific, Westmont, Jessup, Menlo. So it's going to be some tough competition, and finish up with Azusa Pacific. So yeah, it is kind of what it is, and just playing once. I think the men have one doubleheader and the women have one doubleheader, so they should be ready to go, and it's spaced out pretty good, I think.
Emil, the second duel, it comes down to the very last match on the court. I mean, how tense was it getting out there? Because it was close.
It was really close. It's a lot of emotion on and off the court for spectators, for the players, and like
coaches
as well. And for me, sometimes like I'm more nervous watching our team play than actually playing myself, because you're just standing there, you can't really do anything, just hoping, but you got to trust your teammates. And no, it was stressful, and it's always so nice when that last ball goes in for our part. Then it's kind of a good relief getting that win when we had those tight matches, both the first and second. So seeing Phil hit that or get that match point on deuce point, it was felt pretty good for the whole team. So yeah.
You got a deuce point.
What's that? Got a deuce point.
You
yeah.
want a deuce point.
We won more deuce points this weekend, that's for sure. I think Hilo too, they're really a grindy team is what we're going to kind of see out in California. The low altitude tennis showed up here, and they did play Metro on Friday, then Saturday they come over here. So they kind of adjusted to the high altitude. And I think they actually had to play Metro at Air Force indoors. So I think that's probably higher than Denver and any faster. Anyways, so I think that team really helped us prepare for what we're going to see out in California. We got to make more balls. Like Emil really adjusted after the first set. The guy was just basically a grinder, and he had to pick his spots, when to be aggressive better, when to come to the net, when to finish the point. We were trying to finish points too fast, and those guys could really run down a lot of balls. And same with the women we're going to see out there in California. They just got to be a little bit more patient, and just play good situational tennis.
Both of you, Dan said, when he was playing, he'd rather play matches than practice, and guessing that's the same. Is that one thing that you can kind of go mentally, hey, at least we're not practicing. I know we might be tired, but we don't have to practice today. Does that kind of help get you through this California trip?
Yeah, I think for sure. I do like playing matches way more than practicing too. So I agree. And it also helps more just like to know where you're at. Because if you're practicing, it's quite repetitive for us, I feel like. So in a match, you actually see where you're at and how well you can play. So it's different.
Different every day.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, for sure. Same here. We practice to play matches. So when we get to play the matches, it's a holiday for us, We get to play, and it's just so much like way different playing matches. Like the intensity is just different. You got to focus every single point because, tennis, it's a sport of small margins, a few points here and there, and you can lose or win. So you really got to focus. So after a match, you're kind of mentally done. So that's why I also like playing matches more. It's like you're just focused, zoned in, and yeah, I'd rather play matches.
I'm sure most athletes in each sport would say that.
You mentioned it in your open, going to Henry's house, return home for him, same for McKenna. What does it mean to those people to kind of get to spend spring break at home competing, and especially for McKenna? What has she meant to this program over the last
McKenna
4
and
years?
Henry, it's kind of maybe, I don't know if they were recruited by any of those California schools. Maybe it's a little redemption tour for them. It is McKenna's last chance to beat some of those teams. She's had a really good year. She beat, I think, the number 22nd girl from Kearney, Nebraska. So I think it's a really good chance for McKenna. I think her mom might come out. I can't remember. And then Henry, same type of thing. And then Diago and Will actually went to an academy out there in California. So they know a lot of these kids. I feel like I hope Henry doesn't try to overplay too much. I think in the fall ITAs, hope he doesn't mind me saying this, I think he pressed a little bit trying to impress the California people. You just got to play tennis. It's like anyone going home anywhere else. He's just got to relax and play his game.
Delia, what has McKenna meant to this program as a veteran on the team that's been around her and doing such a good job near and the top of the lineup throughout her career?
No, I love McKenna. Well, she's been on a team. She's my doubles partner too. So I do love playing doubles with her. And
Did she come visit you in Germany too?
She did come visit me in Germany. And yeah, I don't know. She has good energy. She always brings out energy to the court. And I think she's one of the players who really need to have the energy. So we all have to kind of hype each other up so we can keep that energy high, because once it drops, you can't really get out of it. So I think McKenna brought a lot to our team. She's a good captain too. And yeah, she helps a lot.
Question of the week. Change it up.
The question of the week.
Your favorite. If you only had one scent or smell the rest of your life you could smell, what would that be and why?
Talia, you're gonna go first because I can't really think of what.
Emil?
Cinnamon. I'll go with cinnamon.
Okay.
Fresh grass.
He's a golfer too.
I just came from
You
just
just got
played 9
done
holes.
I think rain, like the smell of rain, is a really nice smell.
Second time for both of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Changing it up. All right, thank you and good luck.
Thank you.